In this video I'm going to show you how you can mount a Canon EFs 18-55 STM lens onto a Viltrox EF-M2 adapter. I'm not going to go into the details of how to convert the EFS to EF mount. There's a lot of videos already on the internet showing you how to do that, and I'll link them below. What I'm actually going to show you though is how you can successfully restrict the zoom on the lens. Because the problem that you have is once you've converted this to an converted the EFS to an EF mount, when you mount it, the two lens elements touch on the actual between the two lenses. So when we mount the lens and I zoom to 18, the two lenses actually touch, and as you can see there's a little bit which sticks at the back of the EF mount, which causes the fouling of the two glass elements. So to stop that, what we need to do is we need to restrict the zoom lens, or restrict the zoom range, so it doesn't actually happen. So the first thing that we need to do is establish how far away from the 18mm we can actually we need to restrict it. And to do that, the first thing we'll do is we'll have a piece of cardboard and I'll put it in the back of the lens, and the purpose of this is to show what the clearance is between the two glass elements. So I'll place this in the back of the lens and then I'll mount the lens on the adapter. As you can see, the lens is at 24 at the moment, and if I zoom the lens now we'll find out how far we can actually go. So as you can see, I can go almost to 18 but not quite, and I can go the whole way the other way. So now I know I need to restrict my lens to somewhere between the 18 and the 24mm on the zoom range. And to do that, we'll simply remove the lens, take our piece of cardboard out, and now go about restricting the actual action. So all you actually need to do is slide the rubber up like so, and keep sliding it up all the way around until you expose the guides for the zoom action. Like so. So now we can see the guides. If I now rotate the lens, you can see there are small pieces of plastic inside which run along the guides, and we're going to use those to restrict our zoom action. So what we need to do is put our lens roughly where we think it needs to be, which is between the 28 and the 24, and then ideally we need to measure that gap between the slot and the actual the pin that's rotating around. I've already done that to save you actually doing that, and what we need to do is we need to get a little bit of plastic to put in to restrict the rotation, and that piece of plastic looks like this. It's approximately 2mm square and 8mm in length. So all I'm going to do now is place this in the actual slot like so. As you can see, if I rotate the lens now, it hits that pin and it stops the lens from zooming too far. So with that in place, all we now need to do is to replace the rubber, and the rubber will actually hold this in place. We don't need to put any adhesive in or do anything like that. We've literally just put a temporary stopper in place, and as you can see, if I rotate the lens now, we have no problems at all with it rotating and stopping before it gets to 18mm. And that's just enough now for us to mount the actual lens itself. Like so, and actually stop the lens from rotating too far. We now know the glass elements aren't touching inside. And to prove that, I'll just put it to the maximum, and as you can see I can rotate it no more, so there is actually clearance between the two lenses. Now the 18-55mm lens is actually a really good little lens. It's one of Canon's STM lenses, which stands for stepper motor lenses, they're designed specifically for contrast detect autofocus, which, as we know, the Panasonics, they use that system, which is why these lenses seem to focus a lot better than the USM ultrasonic lenses. These lenses are really cheap. I picked this one up for just over £60. So £60 lens and £150 adapter. It's a really cheap alternative to a Panasonic lens. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, just give it a thumbs down. And if you feel like it, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching.